All right, it is Monday. Unless you're not watching this on Monday, then it's whatever day it is. Actually, I'm filming this on Sunday. I'm covering the box office while one of my employees goes and gets food. It's pouring down rain outside, so fuck knows how long that's going to be. I'm on my fifth straight 13-hour day. So I thought I would sit down and talk about a movie that just hit Tubi, and it's free streaming, and it is definitely worth your time, and that is AMP Productions' MUDERCISE. I'd heard about this movie originally through New Village Video. They were promoting it, and New Village Video is producing my Mars vs. Cheerleader script. We have a video with them on the channel if you go back and look. But I have been looking forward to this movie because of the people who are involved in it. Ginger Lynn, one of the most famous adult film actresses. You might also know her from, The Devil's Reject. She's in that. Drew Marvick, who directed Pool Party Massacre, which I thought is fucking incredible. Jessa Flux, who I'd worked with on Debbie Does Demon, Shark Exorcist 2, and Triple Xmas, which I shot. Also, Drew's in that as well. Drew plays the killer Santa Claus in that one. I shot that movie for James Dean, not that James Dean or not the other James Dean, in St. Louis last fall. A lot of circles of degrees of Kevin Bacon. I'm sure somebody's connected to Kevin Bacon. And Kansas Bowling, who is in everything from trauma movies to Psycho Ape to Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She plays one of the Manson girls in that one. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this one for a while. It definitely is a movie that sits in that world of gym-based horror movies from the 1980s, because this is set in the 80s. You'll be able to tell from the amount of neon and Walkmen and fanny packs, although fanny packs are making a comeback. It kind of sits in that world with like Death Spa and Killer Workout, and actually you could even go with the Bobby Rhodes whole section of Demons 2, of slasher movies set in places where people are bettering their bodies. Not the box office at a movie theater. I was just eating Twizzlers. So there's two murderers going around, the Skid Row Stranglers, and they're dressed as police officers, and they're kind of the first thing we see in the movie when you have this, like, you have to have the first girl die in every movie, this one we have this ample-chested blonde taking a shower, and there's a lot of gratuitous washing scenes, and I was like, okay, I know exactly what kind of movie we're getting ourselves into now. She calls the police. The police show up, but it's not the police. It's the Stranglers. And then we kick into our story about a mob-run production team putting together an exercise video. And it's all these different girls, strippers and wrestlers and wannabe actresses. Well, I guess she is an actress in it. That's Jess's character. She's in Co-ed Slasher, I believe it's called. But Kansas Bowling's character is very straight-laced. She works at the hot dog and a stick place in the mall. And she got hired by the sleazy producer. Everyone in this movie's cast perfectly as far as the look that you would think in your head for these type of people at that time period. She's kind of she's the leader. She's very pro Ronald Reagan, anti-drugs, anti-sex. She's the good girl of the group, and she can't tolerate the cameraman zooming in on crotches and asses and tits, and the girls smoking and drinking and cursing and eating fast food. So you have the dynamic of these characters, and there's a lot of getting to know everybody. Ginger Lynn is the wife of this mob boss who's putting up the money for the thing. So they have, and anybody can get whacked at any time. It's business, they say. And the producers told that the mafia people's daughter is going to join the production. We get into... Oh, and Drew's character is just this dude who's just really excited to be setting up the lights and just really happy to be there, wants to be a filmmaker. He's got some of the best lines in the entire movie. There's this great self-aware banter of everyone bouncing off of each other with these little non sequitur lines that are thrown in at the end of a conversation that feel like they could be an ad lib, but they also feel like something that because I've seen other movies these guys have made, Slasherette Party and I can't think of the title of it right now, but it's the one that's sort of like Savage Streets a little bit. I like their work a lot. They're very, they have that very 80s neon kind of aesthetic, that synthwave vibe to them. I like their work a lot as filmmakers. I think that the colors in this movie are great. The gore is used sparingly. When it is used, it definitely has more impact. I said on Instagram, some people have been sharing about this movie because it just hit Tubi, which also Swamp Zombies 2 is on Tubi. Check that out after you watch MUDERCISE. That one scene in particular gave me a fucking belly laugh. Jessa's character is this actress, and she's obviously there because of her sex appeal and all, and she pulls the Drew's character, who's kind of like the PA on set and the handyman on set, and she wants him to grab her tits, and she just keeps talking about how, like, what her tits are like, and he covers his eyes, and he's like, no, I'm not going to see your tits until they're on the big screen in a movie that I made, and I'm trying to get in the union. And she's like, I bet the union isn't even real. And, like, she just goes on this megamaniacal rant about touching her tits. And that run between the two of them is fucking hilarious. It's like the best writing I've seen in an indie horror movie in a long fucking time. And it helps that there's nice tits on screen too, and it helps that there are two people who I've worked with who are very funny, and I watched them be very funny on set and in the scenes they did for the other movie. But Drew is incredible in this movie, and Jess is fucking incredible in this movie as well. They bring something wild to the screen, and it's really the trauma stuff is what I thought about with Jessa, because that whole scene where she's like ranting about touching her, people wanting to see her tits, and why don't you want to touch my tits, like that feels very acting of the first Toxic Avenger movie, and I mean that in the best way possible. And Drew's character kind of reminds me of Matt Stone's character in Orgasmo a little bit, where like he just got these weird little sayings. Drew's thing in this one is about like, you give me the direction, but he does it like, you give me the music and I'll do the dance. I don't know, remember what it was, but it was like he's got these little funny lines the entire time. And Kansas comes in, and then that scene continues, and accidentally Jessa is killed by Kansas's character, and that starts the entire thing rolling of Kansas now trying to cover up the murder that she committed, but also seeing that she can knock off other girls involved in this and be the cover girl for the thing. And then they give her cocaine, and then she's dialed up to 11, and her physical performance in it is great, and something you don't see in a lot of indie movies like this. Like, I don't know how much this movie cost to make. I know that they had a bunch of executive producers, so they probably did like a crowdfund or something. Amazing poster too. Great fucking poster. I think the guys who did this poster are also doing the Triple Xmas poster, which is awesome. I want that framed, all the other movies I've been involved in. But like her facial expressions are just manic. She's Harley Quinnish from this point on. And when they're filming and she's doing the exercise and she's bouncing all over the place and it makes no sense. Like, that also reminds me a little bit of the Toxic Avenger, when they put the snake down the guy's back as he's leading the exercise group, and he's going all crazy, and the people in the thing are trying to follow it. Yeah, I don't know. I really like this one. There's little things here and there that I'm sure you could pick apart on a filmmaking level or a technical level or whatever, but I genuinely had a lot of fun with this one. And just everyone was bringing something quirky to their part. And there wasn't just the stock anyone. Like, you expect, okay, this is the bitchy one, this is the whatever. Everyone gives you a little shade of something else within it. It's got tits. It's got, wow, it's a fly. There's no flies in the movie. You got chainsawed heads. You got dildos to the eye. It's everything you could want from a low budget kind of 80s VHS style movie, and I really 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 liked it. Again, that fucking scene, watch the movie and tell me you don't laugh in that scene between Jessa and Drew. It was fantastic. And again, the head chainsaw scene at the end is fucking amazing. It does all come together. The Stranglers do get involved in the story. Everybody has something to do in it. The director gets basically molested in order to make a movie. Trust me, bud, we've all sold ourselves chasing clout at one point or another in our careers, or what I laughably call a career. Had I just checked the work and not listened to certain people's promises, I wouldn't be sitting in this box office right now. But while you're sitting, you should go watch MUDERCISE on Tubi, because I thought it was really fun, and I love the whole angle of it. They were clearly filming in like one office space location, but the way they shot it makes it look a lot bigger than it probably was. It was just a lot of fun, actually. And most of the times when I know people in a movie, I kind of am a bit apprehensive to watch it, because if it's bad, I feel shitty saying anything about it. And there's been a couple movies, even ones I've been in, did not turn out well. But this one is genuinely funny. Like, if you're a fan of the kind of stuff that I talk about on this channel, I think you're genuinely going to enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to what A&P is doing next. I think they're doing, with Jessa Flux, Only Fangs, which 2 years ago, I wrote a script called Only Fangs, but then I changed it to Ghouls, Ghouls, Ghouls when I saw that the guys who did MUDERCISE, who have a way bigger following than me, are doing one called Only Fangs. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see all the shit that these people do, because I thought everybody was really funny, brought something cool to it. That's my little Monday recommendation of going to check out MUDERCISE. I'll put links down below so you can check it out. And if you do, let A&P know that you dug it and you enjoyed it and you want to see more from them. Because this one definitely, there's a lot of indie movies out there that I see get hyped up a lot and are either pretentious or, they don't really deliver on the goods. This one delivers on the goods. It's got all the things you'd ever want from an 80s slasher. It's everything you could ask for. It would be a great early 80s trauma movie. So if you like that kind of stuff, you're going to like this. I'm going to stop rambling now, because the kid's back with his food and he's staring at me, and I don't think he can see my tripod, so he thinks I'm just sitting here talking to myself, which I usually am. You want your seat back? All right, have a good Monday, or whatever day you're watching this.